кому-то сейчас испортил уши. Кому-то, кто будет смотреть потом запись. Может и нет. Блин. Единственное, что я знаю, что он меня уже задолбал своими ножами. Шо вон все. Шо вон все. Опять тут везде восклицательный знак. Опять везде что-то есть. Есть, но нет. Тут что опять? Путь в площадь. Какая разница? Угу. Так. Нету истории, будут рассказывать, останьте подтвердить. Угу. Кремонка. Не читать это.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Xiangling. I'm
Твой завек. Я не помню, чаш. Ой, точно, я же еще до сих пор что-нибудь получил. Тут что не так? Тома. Созвездие. То что, удачи Тома. У вас созвездие Тома, в смысле, откуда? Не, ну ладно. Раз дают, то чё бы нет. Долго. Когда персонаж под защитой плачет счета Тома, то кроме него самого получает удар. Самого получает удар, который еще по новый другого героя нифига непонятно. Тома уменьшается на 3 секунды. Этот эффект может возникнуть на 20 секунд. Если багова у героя увеличится на 3 секунды, увеличивает уровень навыка покров на 3, максимальный уровень 15. Угу. У Итра тоже. И то же самое, в принципе. Только у него один всего. После уничтожения предмета Тот мелком меч звездопада вызывает еще раз. Нанося дополнительный геоурон по почте. Равноравно нанесенному этим навыком. Угу. Бесит. Честно бесит. Бесит этот ёбаный, сука, целиком. Так. Потом. 647. Сейчас мы сейчас как не вернусь. Не отвечает. Класс. Пиздец. И даже не вот эта вот хуйня, которая...
Freeze! Get moving!
И пёшься нахуй новую броню себе ставить.
If that's how you want it.
Броню мечтаешь, блядь, ты соскучился, с которой некоторые шубы. Ты, блядь, и улетел нахуй. Охуенный, блядь. В том месте, в котором я даже... Фу, блядь. В которое я только полетел, нахуй. Блядь, какие ты охуенные тайминги, сука, снова. Просто, блядь, не чайди, нахуй, блядь.
Dodge this. It's all coming out now.
Ох. Я тебе хотел специально поближе к нему. Сейчас выясняется, что я только отдалился, и что... Блядь, не то заебал. Вершилось чудо, блядь.
Yeah.
Их было зовут не важно.
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met...
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Xiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Xiao before renting them. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Xiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Xiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Класс.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested.
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Она сейчас юридически заставит шпильки прийти к ней, потому что им запрещено теряться по контакту или что?
Let me see. That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution. Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juqiao looks like she's about to faint. However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins. Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins. Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there? Seems right.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item and I should pay however much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpins...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly... My family has seen much jade pass through its hand.
Smooth to the touch. Fine. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Вопрос, а почему мы с этим разбираемся? Нам нужны сами шпильки? Или как? В таком случае нахрена мы сейчас с драконом тут боимся, что ей надо что-то выплачивать. Найдем и выплат не надо будет.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Juqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last.
Mora! Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk and...
А почему это место я должен искать? Меня вроде как на это обсуждение не звали. Это должны мне вы, это мадам обсуждать. Почему нельзя с Кросселем подождать, пока они там договорят? Блин. Твою дивизию. Да какого хрена? Я же встал на землю, куда ты, блять, упал нахуй? И какого хуя ты так далеко? Ёбаный. Придется только. Пойдем. У меня тут резко переключился настрой. Сидел, мутился такой. Придется только. Блин, у меня сейчас, наверное, задержка просто баснословная, как говорится. Зайти. А вон.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus jadeite after all. What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them? Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they can even experience a dramatic change of personality.
Yeah.
It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even
Да,
the
там
slightest
что
pain,
был
though.
этот
I didn't feel anything special at all.
гений.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossell's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession. If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face! Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world. So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking. Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Струн, ты еще тут или как?
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract? Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know. These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here. Contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again. All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
Ой, слушай, Янфей это просто реально стандартный юрист. Очень хорошо показали.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Crossel, so whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of... If Mr. Russell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Ну, хоть порядом. Знакомый чел.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can win? Oh.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine merchant named Croselius. I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. There.
Thank you, sir. We'll take
А,
a look at them.
ще не подобно указал. Угу.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
М.
A thin layer of separation, huh? If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore. Is that so? Well, we might as well give... So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards?
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Да мы их не забираем. Лежат, те лежат.
Miss Yanfei? My...
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, one Smaragdus...
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and the...
Of course. But
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr.
yes, I see. Forgive me.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me. With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell will...
Рановато ты кажешься, поймал еще.
On the
Можно
contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case.
туда-сюда.
We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Cincy. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit. Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people? Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put... As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed. So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to... Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the legal codices. You memorized? You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know. Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things. Again, with that casual tone.
Что это за человек? Она любит читать.
Well, that's that then. Let's look at this and see.
Что мне за упоминание? Кому я нужен? Никому это... Ладно, не важно. Так. Собственно. А,
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Krosel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here. Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Krosel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry.
Thank you, Sinksy.
вот это
Now,
мне очень
could
нравится.
you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been...
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again. Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble? I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go. The weirdo with the snake around his neck? Why do you want to speak to him? Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case.
То есть сразу по двум, не уверен, статьям ли, но по двум обвинениям. Он, во-первых, подавал украшения из вредного для своего материала, так еще и поддельные. Как необычно, что это был русский, да? Yes, Байджо.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out and if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well. Now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatan peddling ineffectual
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will... Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus.
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to this...
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever.
Ясно.
Is it just Paimon, or does
Это
it
официально мой
feel like
любимый
he was
квест.
fishing for something back there? Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Я вообще вот никогда до того, как начал проходить этот квест, даже не то, что до того, как начал, до сегодняшнего дня, когда я уже, в принципе, какое-то время его проходил, не думал, что у меня, в принципе, когда-либо будет любимый квест. Ну вот он. Дайте квест.
Miss Yanfei,
Да что
have you
такое?
finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material
Aye.
evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question.
Давайте. Отсюда уже возьмем.
This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus Jadeite and Smaragdus Nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite, he returned the valuable Jadeite core to me, and some Nephrite samples remain in the store. What?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
О, пришла. Мне кажется, если я сейчас включу стрим в Дискорде, то тут явно все накрылся медным тазом. Но попытка не пытка.
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing.
Что-то
Show him, traveler.
ну, собственно, изменится.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus.
Piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't. Traveler, would you do the honors?
What's the...
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases,
И тут или
cause a
пятый
mild
раз.
malady,
Это
while in
раз.
serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient, considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties before...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would... But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Ms. Zerchow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
О, привет, Колечек. Ой, я стриму. Ой, наконец-то. Прекрасно угадываете. Только у меня опять задержка. Вот что не ура. Ну, кстати, ведь не такая уж и большая. Что меня удивляет. А еще Маша ушла. Так что мне придется переместиться, пока меня не переместил Дискорд. Вот. У нас тут юридические дела делаются. Знаешь, раньше магазинная посевка говорит, нормально бывает. Обстоятельства это обстоятельства. Ты хотя бы этот изумрудный нефрит не продавал. Ой.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
Но вот и я тоже пару секунд. Это меня не удивляет, потому что... Да. Потому что да. Как бы... Да. У меня несколько раз отключал уже. А тут как бы так все нормально, гладненько. Пару секунд всего.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think...
Ms. Jichao, you...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But I... Oh, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust...
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Что с лицом... Я не знаю.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony.
С его лицом...
Well, yes,
Он
actually,
злодей,
yeah.
потому что он русский. Он в недоумении, потому что какого хрена его звучит. Он зол, потому что он в минусе. Он... Я не знаю, он низкопрофессиональный, потому что Геншин. Не слишком сильно. Ладно, на самом деле достаточно полигон. И я не в этом плане, я имею в виду в плане... Ну, короче, то, что деталей мало. Ой, ёшкин кот.
Well then, that's Mr. Crossell. It seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business first. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that.
Oh,
And
that's it.
we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Здорово. Что-то вы по очереди приходите, уходите. Сначала Сатурн пришел. Потом пришел Куличик, Сатурн ушел. Теперь пришел ты, ушел Куличик. Поочередно так. У вас там очередь, чтобы увидеть стрим. Одновременно нельзя.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all
Да,
over the
вижу.
place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents.
Этот тупо с одного телефона. друг за другом этот... Все я насмотрелся на... Выходит с аккаунта, заходит на свой. И так по очереди.
Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the...
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was an adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks.
Блин, жалко. Юридическая часть закончилась. Вот классно. Ладно, пофиг. Так, а откуда? Как туда пойти-то? Он умеет превращаться... Да, умеет, как оказывается. Она может превращаться в воду, когда перемещается быстро. Капец, за человек, когда на меня смотрит. Вот это да. Рекорд. У вас появилось второе устройство.
You've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find
Кстати, я только сейчас... Я вроде бы до этого заметил, но только сейчас я это осознал. Да, у тебя изменился ник. Очень сильно, причем изменился, кажется.
Good, good. Then we have all the material.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right then. Go see to your business.
Сам
Granny
сложим.
should be able to handle the rest.
Ну, у тебя вроде бы и так был танцы, но у тебя... вторая часть. Точняк. Я как-то танкор прочитал почему-то. Вторая же. Ринжи, канапатой.
I'm off then. Bye. Oh yes, traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly.
О, офигенно.
Regulars get discounts too.
Интересно, этот листик должен мешать? Листик? Какой листик? Вот этот тут? Могу убрать. В принципе, могу даже сюда убрать. Закан.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to...
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense. Indeed she is. Liyue's changed. Yanfei might be so careless, but she is also the most intimately acquainted. Liyue is not the same place I once knew.
Ага, там были листья дерева, прикрывающие стружку. Но это уже, я не знаю. Это значит рыбочки, наверное.
All right then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you
Куда
a
еще,
little
куда?
gift.
Итак, чайник.
Paimon's so excited! How is it?
It is but a single.
Это все про тот же чайник. Я уж думал, еще что-то.
Just There we go. This, hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them.
О, держи еще.
Minute, Granny. How
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Что у
I've
нас
already
нет?
arranged.
Просто как-то. О. Круто. Погоди, а где мы там пин? Вот он. Давайте я вам берете. Есть какие мешали там. Чтобы вам больше никакие листья не завяжут, не мешали и прочее. Ну, дерево я в это уберу. Не волшебный чай, волшебный дом. Хотя это можно? Нет, это дерево нельзя убить. Так, хорошо. Что там у меня? Новый держи тоже. Так, припыльный брокс. Тянь юань, ароматное великолепие. Чай, те же. Пойти. Тут еще несколько локаций. Вот. Я хочу на модный пик. Так. Изомытный пик, значит. Вроде там вот его красиво. Сейчас посмотрим, как оно будет. Долго. Грузится. Я подойду. Окей.
This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's. There's even a great
А тут
big
даже
house in the
тут
middle
больше места,
too.
чем в чайнике Мадам Пин. Даже там не дом стоит. Да.
But there's just a
Тут
whole
ничего
lot of
нет.
nothing around it.
На коре камни поставить дом. Накали воды и принеси дерево. Дров. Пойдем к яму и покажу. Почему копать яму, если есть дом?
Why is it so empty here apart from that? Oh, wait a second. What?
И что, кто? О. Достижение. Будет девка. О. Чайное достижение. Это обители. Войдите в обитель с помощью чайника безмятежности. Для пингвин какой-то.
Well, it seems that
Нет,
we
это
have a
скорее
visitor.
бей. Очень цветной. Так, похоже, у нас есть первый гость.
It's a huge finch.
В этом чайнике случаем не варили суп из мухоморов. Я не знаю, спросил птица, но я тут первый раз. Она тут уже в самом создании, так что ей виднее. Она лучше знает. Больше не зяблик. Это зяблик.
I am not a finch.
Ладно.
I am a teapot spirit.
Она
You
что,
may
в
call me.
птицах явно разбирается. Я не зяблик, я ждых чайников. Меня зовут...
Hang on a
Как же меня
moment.
зовут? Снова забыла.
Oh,
Это
call
меня
me.
пухляш.
You may call me. Tubby.
Первый раз тебя накрыла. Блин. Сильно пухленькая.
So you're the little helper.
И не
that
скажешь,
you mentioned?
что не скажешь, тот самый помощник, о котором говорил мадам
Madam
Пинк, да.
Oh, you must
Это она
mean
меня сюда
Pin.
призвала. Она
Yes,
очень
she
много
did
сказала.
something. You may leave
Когда она
all
успела.
matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place
Что
to go.
значит
It is the
двухчайник?
adepti who create realms such as this. They generally do not have the time of day to attend to the
Как
banal
говорят,
matter
моя
of
твоя
their
все
maintenance.
чувства.
Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their. You may consider me a butler,
Ясно.
if you will.
Судя по всему, двух чайники Пин уже сдох. Судя по тому, как там было грязно.
Now, allow me to explain this realm to you.
Хотел сказать о том, что такое обитель.
Have you any
У вас
blueprints
есть
on you?
чертежи,
Specifically,
комнатами с солью и
blueprints,
прочее.
as long as you have a
Вас можете
blueprint,
чертежи,
you
вы
can
сможете придать
refashion
обитель
this
в любой
realm.
вид.
Blueprint?
Или точно.
Oh, that's
Я уже успел даже купить, кстати, чертежи.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the net. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within. Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we? I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely. A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be? I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this. If there's anything you would like.
Хорошо. Ее комитет. Кого найти, если я уже с ним поговорил? С ней я не знаю. Я хочу в дом зайти. Это, наверное, просто, но все равно интересно. Не, ну прям... Тут даже, наверное, поисторнее, чем, наверное, какого-нибудь Рюка. Рюка, я не знаю, как правильно. Дверь открылась. Вот это да. Нашел чему удивиться. Так, можно закрыть, пожалуйста? Твою дверь. О, отлично, все закрыл. Хорошо. Как-нибудь. Блин, мне уже скоро идти. Ладно. Сейчас я закончу. Да, блин, что случилось? Типа, собственно, небольшой подарок. Не помню, упоминал ли я об этом раньше. Обитель это, собственно, рецепт. Покой в обители. Адепты определенным средством из запечатать вход для нежелательных посетителей. Тем адепты создают допуск к обители для тех, кто хотят пригласить в гости. Эрденс. Я что-то вернулся. Сообщение. Допуск свяжет частичку энергии обители и дух самих адаптов, поэтому есть доступ допуск может свободно посещать обитель. Раньше эта обитель находилась в незавершенном состоянии. Погруженные гости помогли здесь лишь вместе с тобой. И было немного времени. Но ты, если надо, то допуск обитель специально для тебя. Возьми и держи его крепко. Делать дальше. Убирать вещь. И он заберет часть твоей ноги. Да. Антоном Пин, что у тебя много друзей. Можешь мне попросту не хватит времени, чтобы сделать отдельный допуск для каждого. Я улучшил допуск, тебе нужно лишь ладонью тому, кого ты хочешь попросить твоему. Аналитическая подпись позволяет гостям салона посещать твой петель. Часть друзей. Так сказать. Звучит это совершенно просто. Круто. Так, это что? А, да, точно. Ой. Извините. Угу. Серьезно? Ладно. О. Сколько всего? Так, окей. Так, как выйти? Через этот? Я надо разместить и... Да. Все. Сейчас опять она будет крутить полгода. Она еще не открывается. О. Ты сейчас вообще это закрыть. Слушай. Мне нужно лог писать, короче. Напиши целый лог для чайника. На основе этого. Мне кажется, получится интересно. Такой, знаешь, фанфик целый разный. Ладно. Наигрался. Фанфик по чайник. Бывало хуже. Я тебе отвечаю, бывало хуже. Мне сейчас нужно уходить, так что я усвоить. Вы можете, конечно, уйти с него, но баллы канала 250 баллов. Там, кстати, тоже Genshin. Так что да. А вот я недавно начал смотреть кое-кого, Луншу. Не знаю, может кто-то знает из вас, может кто-то, может нет. Вот. Она сейчас тоже стримит Genshin. У нее фолловеров меньше, но зрителей больше. И общительнее. Так что, в принципе, там даже должно быть веселее, наверное. Нет, это девушка. Она сейчас, по идее, с подругой еще дополнительно. Вот, я туда тоже пойду смотреть. Когда я вернусь. Да, девушку втроем. Реально. Кто? Что? Я такого слова не знаю. Что это значит? Ладно, не важно. А не важно. Вперед.
Айзер, ты стримишь? О! О, май! Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Это мило, это мило, это мило. Рейд втроем, все равно мило. Рейд втроем, все равно мило. Хи-хи. Хи-хи. Тут какие-то важные диалоги. Танцор прибыл на танцпол. А что вы делали? Во что играли? А? А, тоже в Геншин? Лёль. Забавно. Ай, ох уж этот кликер. О! Спасибо за фоллоу. Танцор. Эхе, спасибо за подпад. О, спасибо за фоллоу. Нефритом изумрудным разбирались. Изумрудный нефрит. Изумрудный нефрит. Как много подпадов! О май гаш. Эхе. Меня засмущали. Ровнее спинку, спасибо. Боже мой, что за прелесть. Ой, я надеюсь, вы не слышали мое урчание. Время подпатов. Да! Тратим все баллы на подпат. Я всегда так делаю, когда кого-то смотрю. Спасибо. За подпад или Кристи. Я так поняла, Кристи, теперь свой фан-клуб. Кристи, тебя за подпад.
Меня уже стерли там уже в порошок. Я уже вся такой лежу, такой вот комочек. Просто два ушка, два глазика и остальная попа. Вот. А тебя гладят. Если тебя гладят, то меня до сих пор вот, как бы все, я уже все.
Ай. Привет, Шерлок. А это что, все? Мы выполнили квест? Ну что ж, это время крутки. Шапочная хомячья кролина крестильный порошок для боли в суставах. Вот.
Все. Это все, это.
А.
Порошок.
Ну, тут тайминг.
Что
тайминг? Ты уже стрим закончил?
Я вот только что рейд провел.
Ты выбрал не вилку?
Серьезно?
Опять ты о своем.
Ладно.
Меня чайник получил.
Какой чайник? О, ты чайник получил?
Да.
Я что, чайник? А, чайник!
Курличик сказал, короче, что там просто этот чай из мухоморов варили.
А что, мы все уже прошли? Ну,
Это
Давай.
Юрий чай, походу.
Нет.
Хочешь, я тебе сейчас свой чайник покажу, как он выглядит изнутри?
А я
Там
уже
такой
вышел
себе?
с Геншина, я
Спасибо
сейчас
за
ужинать
подпас.
пойду.
Не,
Со
ну
мной
ладно.
говоришь?
Тогда я пойду
Пойду посмотрим, что будем
Простите.
делать. Может, и зайду.
Я не хотела,
Может, и
такая
нет.
мелкая смертная, как я.
Хорошо. Тогда пока что... да, ладно.
Ладно.
Ай, блин, животик уруру. Пари-туруру. Оу, no. Пожалуйста, надеюсь, вы это не слышите.
Ай-яй-яй.
Так, Крис, ну что, пойдем попробуем активировать эти
Jesus
телепорты, эти
Christ.
самые.
Ой, на власти. Больше уверенности в себе у нас появилась.
А, ты был... Оф. Кушать хочешь, да. Я ела в последний раз... Я ела в 5 часов утра яичницу с кофе, стандартный завтрак, и еще в 2 часа дня я попила чай. А уже 6 вечера.
No,
Мне
I
нужна
need to
еда.
restart it.
Так, господи, боже мой, моя лень меня погубит. У меня тут как раз морковный торт. Ух ты! Блин, морковный торт вкусный. А что дальше? А что дальше? Да, дальше проблема. Иди поешь. Я поем перед аниме. А аниме мы будем смотреть через час. А может сразу сюда телепортнемся?
В этом есть это? А разве они не в разных местах находятся?
Да? Не знаю.
Что я не ладно, давай просто объяснили там что-нибудь сделаем по пути.
Don't start fight, but I handle you just fine. Usually I'm very kind to others, but I won't think twice if you're supposed to be or mine.
Да, отлично. О, я вижу испытания. О, и сундук.
И сундук, и испытание, и еще,
И еще.
и еще.
Так, тут... Мгм. Я тогда не стоило менять отряд. Пойду в магазин, куплю поесть. Давай. Хоть кто-то будет сытый. А, ты уже? Ты быстро.
Yes, of course.
Какая я думала.
When I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I
О,
guess
no.
that the voices
Не
taste the
того
falling out
ты
of
бьешь,
it.
дорогая.
Are you tired of me yet? I
Быстро
am a
же,
little
блин.
sick right now, but I swear when
Как-нибудь
I'm ready,
оживем.
I will
Я
flush
вот
out of
вечер, а ты
here.
давай теперь на дендро, все. Хотя это изначально было дендро.
Да,
Но
мне,
это
мне не стоило менять.
это
I'll
все.
cut my
Ну,
hair.
то есть сложно было промазать. Да.
To make you stare. I'll hide my chest and I'll figure out a way to get us out of here.
Ой. Что-то я начала тупить еще больше.
My eyes went.
Это все еще... Да, это все еще Геншин. Угу. Эй!
Мне кажется, как будто бы он должен
Turn
проснуться, но
off your
никак
porcelain face.
И не надо.
I can rarely think not now in this place. It's too many colors, but now they leave all of us insane.
О, там
Are
еще
you dead? Sometimes I think I'm dead. I actually feel ghosts and ghouls wrapping my head, but I don't wanna fall asleep just yet.
А что за лучшая игра? Интересно. Я без понятия.
My eyes went dark.
А! Он меня бьет.
I don't know where. I deep are, but I figure out a way to get us out of here. A lot of this monster. He doesn't know how to communicate. His mind is in a different place. Will everybody give it, leave him a little bit of space? Get along, this is trend deck. His hair's a mess and he doesn't know who he is yet. But little do we know the stars welcome him with open arms.
Понимаю.
Time is
Ой. Как ты это называлась?
Я не знаю.
slowly.
Ну, ты же как-то сюда забралась.
Да.
Tracing his face, he feels so home at this
А ты
place.
где? А, все.
Нет, нет, меня. Нет. Надо. Погоди. Где они? Где эти
Так,
телепорт?
у меня есть подозрение, что отсюда мы их, конечно же, не активируем. Но мы можем попробовать. Мы же все равно исследуем. Тут даже никакого прохода нету. Или есть? Но это не туда, куда нужно.
Если наверх, вот там я вижу. Хотя, может быть, это тупик, но кто знает.
Это штука.
Я нашла проход. Я нашла... или это не проход?
They tell me keep it simple, I'll tell them take it slow. It's queenly value and I do so I'll let it grow. They tell me take it easy, they laugh and tell me no. It's cool but I don't see them laughing at my monitor. I'm spitting tracks at me, I'm spitting tracks, catch me. I'm spinning gold off my records so you can't look at me. They tell me Jesus walks, I tell them money talks. Building got me chillin' cause I'm living in an icebox. They tell me I've been sleeping, I'll say I'm wide awake. Tracks.
Да я вообще... Мамочки!
Лечись и кушай. 3 все для вас, ваше
моя.
высочество. Принцесса Луняша
боже
Снизу?
Life's alright in Devil Town. Very right.
Лечись и кушай.
No one's gonna catch us now.
Блин.
Dad has bought a new car now. We're fine.
Я правда
No
стараюсь
one's gonna catch us now.
А как подняться наверх? Я растерялась. А, вот ты где. Блин, это мило, спасибо большое. А где
Ага.
You said something dumb again. She's mad At least that's what they say. Mom and Daddy, that's fine. I'll settle for 2 birthdays.
Меня балуешь.
Devil Town is colder in the summertime. I lose my mind at least another 1,000 times. Hold my hands tight, we'll make it another night. I still get a little scared of something new, but I feel a little safer when I'm with you. Falling doesn't feel so bad when I know you're falling this way too. We're all dead in Devil
Спасибо за
Town.
подхват.
That's fine, 'cause nothing's gonna scare us now. We're all in our dressing out. Mine's white and stripy, yours is green and
У
brown.
нас тут дела.
I forgot my name again.
Здрасте.
I think that's something worth remembering. Spiders in your favorite shoes. Just leave, and because they're more scared of you. Devil Town is colder in the summertime. I lose my mind at least another 1,000 times. Hold my hands tight, we'll make it another night. I said get a little scared of something new, but I feel a little safer when I'm with you. Falling doesn't feel so bad, so I know you're falling this way too.
Заезженная тема. А это бай?
It's lovely in the evening time, but every time I close my eyes, the sunshine gets a little dimmer now. The clouds fall down to sink my teeth
Вообще-то не
into...
плохо. Все спокойно в небе.
Вот ради этого.
Нет, нормально, нормально.
Прости.
Стрим, кстати, настолько без задержки, что я, собственно, до нас не видела.
Не важно.
Так вот.
Тебе повторить?
Да.
Да, это да, а нет-то нет.
Собственно, я походил с документиками с МФ вместе. Разобрались с изумрудным нефритом. Это был самый интересный квест вообще за весь Genshin.
Серьезно?
Да, это прикольно же.
Дорогая Кристи.
Понятно.
Это настоящая эретическая часть этого мира. Ты реально ходишь с документами, говорит, типа, подпишите здесь, да, за вот это вот, за вот это вот.
Ты куда-то можешь
Это как в
Пиши.
реальном мире.
Если ты можешь выслушать.
Подпиши, крыса.
Это реально...
Стоит потом
Они
пересмотрю.
очень
Окей,
хорошо показали
окей.
как бы юридические дела.
Надо
И юриста
Ну, это-
самого тоже.
бежать наверх. А разве не оттуда?
Мне
Юрист
плевать, сколько
классно,
ты
да.
там потратил на этот нефрит.
Не знаю.
Плати.
не знаю. Там какая-то...
Hey,
дыра.
bitch. Это не мои проблемы, что ты потратил деньги, сам виноват.
Тут,
Да.
тут.
Ни одного юриста почти не волнует,
так я неправильно читала.
сколько ты потратил, пока ты не потратил что-нибудь на него.
Ну да,
Нужно,
справедливо.
наверное, в описании канала писать
Вот.
то, что у меня большая проблема с ударением.
Собственно. Меня тут
Просто
ищут
всегда все
на чужом
путаю.
канале.
А еще ставлю ударение.
ищут.
Нет, это тупик.
Скажи, что ты потерялся.
Эх. Кристи, это тупик.
Потерянный визор. Ну да, что стример как раз на уроке сидел, такая...
У меня, кстати, оказывается, сейчас стрим идет до сих пор.
А! В смысле?